The paper we're diving into today is Ontological Leadership Theory R2 by Obed Kofi Yadzo. It's a mouthful, but really fascinating stuff on leadership identity.
Yeah, and let not forget Aja Lillian Cade, the co-author. What caught my attention is they, not what leaders do, but who are. That's a pretty shift from, traditional leadership equals action thinking.
The central question here is why we what a leader accomplishes from their moral compass, or, as the authors it, internal purity. They're arguing you can't have real, sustainable leadership without actually embodying, living, some kind of inner alignment, not just looking good on a LinkedIn profile. Right, and instead of just reviewing existing theories, like, say, servant leadership, authentic, they claim there's still this yawning. You can act the part, or even all right metrics for service, but if you're not consistent and grounded, it's all a bit hollow? Exactly. It's like authenticity isn't just about being transparent or aware in a corporate sense. They do these intertwined concepts for internal purity and bed for external service. So in this model, it's not enough to do good things, you have to be good deep down, and those two parts of yourself to line up.
Their method is kind of neat. Rather than running a big empirical study, they build a framework, drawing from a heap of previous scholarship, and then operationalize it as the LILED taxonomy. So that's leadership, integrity, love, excellence, and daily consistency. It's practical, not just pie in the sky.
Yeah, so the ship part about vision and initiative. Integrity is matching up what you say with what you actually do. Love here isn't romantic, obviously, but more about genuine care, empathy toward others, active listening, mentorship, that kind of thing. Excellence is about high standards, and is, well, consistency, actually trying to show up even when nobody's watching.
What strikes me is their concept of the Lilbed idea of arriving at a kind of steady psychosocial mode where a person combines humility, service, and disciplined consistency. So influence is authentic and has staying power. Not just bursts of good leadership when they're going well, but a stable, almost habitual way of being.
And that, apparently, is you avoid that perform leadership everyone complains about. Instead, leadership becomes something grounded and sustainable, not situational or eating, I guess. It kind of makes me think about how, like, even in sports, the best captains are the ones you barely notice. They're just doing the right thing all the time, not the...
Oh, totally. Like teammates who never make plays, but everyone trusts them to just be. Except I was terrible at sports, so I was never that person. Anyway, do wonder, though, if this whole internal purity thing is idealistic? Like, can anyone really be pure day in, day out?
That's a good question. The authors even admit their model isn't absolute truth. It's an invitation to think harder about has identity, not just actions. It's more direction than a right? Yeah, for listeners, what it really means, maybe reflect on your own intentions, not your... Leadership could be less about being in charge and more about aligning who you are with what you do, especially if you know to build trust, leave an actual legacy.
Exactly. Academic theory like this isn't a one-size-fits-all answer. But if you're in a role, at work, in your community, whatever, you start looking for ways to practice those LILED values in your own life.
So whatever your position, it's about making sure your actions actually match your values. Because according to Yadzo and Kodade, real leadership starts, stays. That's a great takeaway. Anyway, I guess next time we can talk about how you actually measure purity, if that's even possible. But for now, LBED, one model that might get us thinking in, deeper ways about what leadership really is. Couldn't have said it myself.